Hi tappers! Today I want to talk about something that is hard to draw a line through, and that is, at what point is what I'm experiencing anxiety? If I sleep through my alarm and I wake up 10 minutes before I need to leave, so I erupt from my bed with a string of exasperate phrases, and I just am meeting that urgent need of the moment, is that just action, or have I jumped into anxiety? If I finally get the nerve to text my crush and see if they want to spend time together, and now I'm waiting for their answer and I've got shallow breath, and am I having a normal response to something that is important to me, or is this being anxious? And is all anxiety bad? Anxiety has become stigmatized, and while awareness of it is so highly important, having an education of it is too. The easiest definition of anxiety is a feeling of unease. You don't feel good about something. With that as the line, I'd say there are a lot of times that anxiety comes very much to good use. Now, I would call that a gut feeling, and I follow that myself constantly, but I call it my intuition. What is more commonly thought to be what we call anxiety is more in alignment with the definition of overwhelm in the negative sense, which is the feeling of defeat. So if we take that and mash those together, we now have a definition of, I don't feel good about this thing that's overtaking me. Does that sound more on point when you say, oh, I'm having anxiety? Now, what if I told you that's basically the definition of a panic attack? Are you surprised? Most people I say this to, it's, oh no, I don't have panic attacks. Because what they picture in their mind is something either from media that they've seen with like the brown paper bag and they're near fainting, or a very extreme example that they see in their own minds of something that, well, it just doesn't align with what they're feeling because it's not big enough. Well, I'm going to give you a list of symptoms of a mild anxiety attack, and you tell me if they ring any bells. A sense of impending doom or danger, a fear of loss of control, a fear of death, a rapid pounding heart rate, sweating, trembling, shaking, shortness of breath that's not due to exercise, tightening in your throat, chills, hot flashes. The list goes on. The long-term effects of anxiety and mild panic attacks are pretty gloomy. It increases heart disease, lowers the immune system response, and can cause gastrointestinal issues like IBS. Given this, do you really want to keep managing your symptoms of anxiety, or would you like to delete them and their long-term effects from your future? Well, obviously delete them, but that almost sounds like a romantic gesture, right? Something that can occasionally happen, but it's impractical to expect on a consistent moment-by-moment basis. Well, this is why knowing the real science behind tapping is so vital. People know that tapping is an immediate stress release, something you use when you have an active symptom, and that's one way to use it, absolutely. But using tapping on a regular basis actually shrinks that part of your brain that registers and releases stress. And it grows physical pathways to access your tools of staying calm and grounded in tense situations. Now, inevitably, someone always asks, but Amanda, I don't want to get rid of my ability to know when I'm truly in danger. I don't want to tap away my instincts to be able to protect myself or my family. Well, that isn't a thing. That doesn't happen. In fact, it's shown quite the opposite, that tapping improves speed and agility in true times of need because you aren't distracted by what isn't truly a threat, and you aren't wasting those resources on non-emergencies. So, how do you tap on this? We'll start with where you are. Set a time each day in your phone and tap for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. That will make a huge difference. Well, what do you tap on? Whatever's in front of you at that time. When you reach a place where you're having to look for something to tap on, well, you can start using the techniques that we've discussed to figure out where you want to go next. Multiple videos on that. Check the playlist. Don't just manage or push through thinking you're doing yourself a favor, tappers. You are already strong, and you don't need to prove that by shouldering harmful stress that you could release. I hope this helps. I'll see you soon.